today we are talking about mental toughness. What mental toughness is, how do we develop mental toughness, practices that we can put into place to really get us to create that mental toughness. And appropriately, it's starting to snow, so I'm going to power right through this and be mentally tough and get through this training with you guys. Mental toughness is incredibly important because most of the time when we fail an endeavor or a goal or a dream or whatever we want to do, there's a lot of this mental game going on. This thing right here on top of the whole rest of your body can either be the greatest tool that you have, or it can give you a lot of difficulty. And one of the things that we want to begin to develop as we are learning to train our minds is how to be mentally tough. How do we endure? How do we rise to the occasion? How do we get through the failures? What is the conversation that we're having with ourselves about what's going on? This is all about mental fitness, and more importantly, this is about developing that thick skin, about developing that mental toughness. With enough mental toughness, you can endure pretty much everything. You've heard probably the quote, the phrase before, with the strong enough why, you can get through any how, right? And so when we're going to learn how to develop this mental toughness, when we're going to bring this in as something that we want to create as a core characteristic of our life, we have to ask ourselves the question, well, how do we actually begin to do that, right? What's the mindset where we start here, first of all, in creating that, in actually developing this core quality? The way that we begin to develop mental toughness is actually quite simple. We remove the word quit from the equation. Now, why do we want to remove the word quit from the equation? The way to disintegrate mental toughness is simply to quit, right? And just to say, I'm done with whatever endeavor, whatever goal, whatever path that you're traveling. That is not how you develop mental toughness, by quitting, by giving up. The way that you develop mental toughness, whether this is a small endeavor or a massive endeavor, is to go, I am going to find a way no matter what. Recognize here that I did not say I'm trying to find the perfect way, or I need to be perfect, or it needs to even be excellent or fantastic. It is not about that. When you are learning to develop mental toughness, the only thing that you need to be committed to bring this into your life is finding a way. That's the only thing that you need to be committed to, right? It's not about knocking it out of the park. It's not about, a perfect achievement of your goal. It's about the commitment to simply finding a way to make it work. So if you remove the word quit, right, and give up from your vocabulary, and you commit simply to finding a way, what happens as you travel on the path? Well, you set a goal, you go on the path, right? You start experiencing the unknown and the things that you did not know. And when your mind or your inner critic starts going off, you remind yourself, right, that I am just committed to finding a way to make this work. Not to make it perfect, not even to make it excellent, just to find a way to make this happen, okay? And so, since you are not going to quit on it, you start to navigate new waters, right? You start to experience, okay, there's rough water here, there's turbulence over here, okay, this is how I'm going to navigate, okay, that wasn't done perfectly, but that's fine, okay, I'm learning, and as you begin to navigate these things farther and farther and farther onto the path, you develop a thicker skin, because now you're experiencing things, now you are tried, true, and tested, versus the people that look at a scenario and go, oh, I'm not even going to head into that. That's not how you are mentally tough. Mental toughness is developed through navigating experiences, whether good, ugly, or bad. That's all. That is it. It is something that you earn through taking action. It is not something that you are necessarily born with, right? But it is earned through taking action, through moving through the journey, through experiencing all of the things on that journey, to not quitting on that journey, and to simply being committed to finding a way to get through it. That's it. That's it. one of the references that just came up for me is, how does the blacksmith's arm become very strong and muscular? It's through resistance. It's through pounding away, pounding away, pounding away every single day relentlessly, and that arm strength is built through resistance. Your mental strength and toughness is built through resistance, right? You go on the journey, there's resistance, you go through the resistance. You go to the gym, you lift a weight, there's resistance, you grow through the resistance. Mental toughness and that thick skin is developed through the resistance. That's it. And if you are committed to quitting, you don't get the opportunity to work through that resistance. But if you are committed to navigating, to finding a way, then you really allow yourself the opportunity. I was getting a really bad shadow there. You allow yourself the opportunity to learn, to grow, to develop. Put it this way, guys. Look, when you go on journeys and you try to achieve goals or whatever it might be, you try to learn a new skill or a new tactic, whatever it might be, you are going to experience it from the point of view of the beginner, right? Someone who maybe done it a couple of times or has never done it before. And when you are going through something from the experience of the beginner, you are going to hit a lot of resistance, especially at the beginning as you're learning how to do something, right? That's just the process. When you start something that you've never done before, you're probably not going to be very good at it, or not very skilled at it, or not able to kind of grind through that experience of that lot of resistance at the beginning. But if you are just committed to continuing to go on to learning the process, right, and you don't get in your own way with your mind, you will grow just by being in the experience. By simply standing in the experience, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly, you are already growing and shifting and changing because you're developing new references in your mind for what life is or for what might happen on that journey. But if you turn away and you run from the experience, you never get that opportunity to grow. Yes, we would always like good things to happen and things to be really easy, of course. But in the sake of balance, in the sake of how life actually works, there might be a lot of things that don't go your way. There might be a lot of things that go horribly. And so we regroup and we recover and we head back into the experience willing to break through it. Resistance is your friend. It teaches you, just like the blacksmith's arm, right? It teaches you and you go stronger and you go stronger and you go stronger. And even if things don't work out for you for quite a long time as you are trying something, you will navigate that experience to be able to find ways to make it work. That is how we develop mental toughness. That is how we grow. That is how we have a thicker skin to not turn away from the things that scare us, but to continue to head into them over and over and over, no matter how many times you fail, and eventually, with enough experience and enough wisdom, even if it's wisdom of the things not to do, you develop the capacity to move forward, and eventually it will click. Okay? So, this is one of these important inner qualities about developing the mind, really bringing out the courage of the soul, and being able to move through experiences and navigate them, not with the commitment of perfection, but with the commitment that we're just going to find a way to make it work. And if you have any questions about this training, please let me know down in the comment section. I would be more than happy to answer them for you. I'll see you later.